live with our community and community follow-up and Q&A. Sorry for starting this a little bit late. We are here now. This is Friday evening, and it's time for yet another edition of talking about the actions, what's going on, what's going down in the community, and we are live. And remember, there is a link on our Slack channel every time we are going live with an event, and it is being updated from our website, and that's the way that cookie crumbles, right? And then after a while, I usually upload things to YouTube so you can watch this afterwards, right? Right, so I'm just gonna copy this link here, and I'm gonna say also on Twitch channel. Oh, sorry. There we go, channel. And then just a link to our Twitch thingy. And so we're going to move this out of the way here. And we will just take a look at this thing here. Right. We should be good to go. Pretty much. And I see that we have UT61 with us in chat at least. Congratulations to your achievement that you slacked me in private message. So good on you, my brother. I'm very happy for your sake. Let's celebrate by just wishing you good luck with everything. Of course, you're definitely worth it. Right. So every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I run these community follow-ups, and there is, as usual, a live meet, and I will actually try to pull in. Perhaps Luke can join us. I don't know. I'm live now. Sorry about the delay. There we go. Right. It's been a busy Friday for me today. So sorry about being a bit or seem like a little bit distracted and so on. But in terms of the community news, we are getting ready to kick off our training program. I am working my way through the course documentation and so on. It's a very tedious work, but well, it's not tedious. It's a bit tedious, but it's also a creative endeavor, right? Because I already have a lot of course documentation for the summer camp written. It's a matter of assembling it together from various bits and pieces. And while doing that, I read through the materials and I come up with some new stuff. There's always something that you can update, or something that you just feel, yeah, I just need to tell these guys about a little bit more on the technology part, the HTTP protocols, or a little bit more on the database stuff or JavaScript stuff or what have you, right? So you come up with new things all the time, and I have a tendency to kind of nerd into certain topics and get distracted a little bit. So I need to get a grip on myself, basically. But I'm in the process of doing that, and I will be pushing info about that as soon as possible. So that is definitely happening. I've been very busy with a lot of things, so unfortunately I've been fairly slow on my personal projects and streaming, because when I do work on my personal stuff, I have a tendency to do that in public and stream a lot, and when I don't, I take a step back, unfortunately. So that has been the case this last week. So it's a bit of a problem. I did code on a specific Agile Ventures project called KCSC API, which is basically a small search engine to query for various types of services that the Kensington and Chelsea Social Council is offering their residents. And I will talk a little bit. Well, I did talk about it in the last follow-up, but I can just mention some of the stuff if you are interested. Let me know. Right. So, what is going on apart from that? Well, we had a first contribution from a new member of Agile Ventures, Yusuf. Good evening, UT61. Good evening. Nice to have you. And again, I don't know if you heard me before. Congratulations to your achievement. I'm very glad for your sake. Good on you, brother. Good on you. Good stuff. So we had a first contribution from Yusuf. He submitted a small PR, but a very significant one, and that was to disable a gem that is called Vanity Gem. It's Vanity. The gem is called Vanity. It's a very good thing. It's an A/B testing gem that can allow us to measure usage of some features and so on. Problem with that gem: A, undocumented implementation, untested implementation. That's one thing. And B, the gem was broken. So we had to get rid of it. So this PR that is called Disable Vanity Gem, which is the PR number 3757, again, website one, the application that powers our community website, is legacy code. And we are disabling this gem in this PR, which could be a problem, but it could also be a blessing, because you can't have code that you don't know anything about and that doesn't do any good. So we did that. So this one has been merged, and what I will do now, as we speak, is to go through a process that we need to be able to automate, and that is to push this code up from the development branch to the staging branch, deploy it to our server, and then push it out to production. And so that is a bit tricky. Or, well, it's not tricky per se, but it's manual, and we want to avoid that. Sorry, we need to think about this. What I will do now is to do this in the manual, old-fashioned way. Just for your information, these PRs that we see here, they are created by the Dependabot system, whatever it is, auto created for us. So we're not going to merge them at this point. But I will create a new pull request here, and the base will be staging, and I will compare development to staging. And I don't know if you notice that, but I actually had to write staging because for some reason there's a bunch of branches on this particular repository, which is a total no-go. The previous project manager just made a big fucking mess out of this, unfortunately. So we need to clean all of this up, and we will. We've partially done that already, but we only want 3 branches here. one that is called master or preferably main, another one called staging, and the third one is of course the main branch for us, and that is called develop, which is the branch that we develop against. And consequently, those three branches are also mapped to three servers: the development server, the staging server, and then finally the production server. So what I will do now is to create a PR from develop to staging, and we can see that we did this recently. We only have three. Well, we only have a little bit of code that is different, to be honest. So I'm just going to call this one pushes development to staging. Create that PR, and then there is another flaw in our system, and that is that Semaphore cannot build this branch. And why not? Because there's a secret CC test ID not found. And secret stride PBK not found, secret stride SK not found. And why is that? I have no clue, to be honest. To be totally honest, I don't know, because we are being able to run this on we are able to run this on our development branch, but we can't really run this on our staging branch. And there's a deploy key from Semaphore. Right. Yeah. This definitely needs to be investigated, and this is not the time nor the place to do that right now. We're just gonna do this very manually. I'm an admin, so I can just confirm this push, and then I'm just gonna go into Heroku, and I will log in here, and then I'm going to go to the Agile Ventures charity account, go into website 1, and then I will move over to those. You see those three apps. We have website 1 develop, then we have website 1 staging, and then as the last one we have website 1 production. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the staging application, and I'm going to manually deploy it. Now it says here that automatic deploys from staging are enabled, but we also state here that we need to wait for continuous integration to pass, and since we are not running continuous integration right now because of misconfiguration, I need to deploy this manually. So I just click this button, and I will see a console output here building this thing, and we'll see what that gives us. Right. And my good friend Luke is on BBQ and barbecue. Bon appetit, Luke. Bon appetit. Smaklig måltid. Right. So there we go. Right, and you have deleted. Right. Now we have a problem here. Why do we have a problem here? What's going on? One package, look at the. You have. But I thought he did run bundle. Or at least he said he did. Code and migrate. Ouch. Ouch. Right. Oh shoots. Oh gosh, no. Oh, I shouldn't have done this. I should not have done this. He cannot change. Oh god, I didn't do a thorough code review. Okay, I need to fix this. I need to fix this. So we're gonna do cd Agile Ventures. Right. Bum, ba-dum, ba-dum. Right. Right. Create table. Right. So that's a bit of a problem, actually. That's a bit of a problem. Pum. Right. Okay. We need to reinstate this. Okay. So cd website 1, and then we're gonna do. We're not gonna do mailer up to git status. Right. Vanity controller git diff. We had a bind and prior, right? So we do git stash. We just stash this. We don't need this for anything. Right. So git checkout develop. Right. And now we do code. Well, we actually gonna do yeah, code this, and we will take a look at that. Shit, I really made a fool of myself on this one. Gonna take a look at this migration that was being changed. So we're just gonna say code this. I'm gonna take a look at right. You shouldn't have changed that. So I'm gonna right. So I'm gonna copy this now. I'm gonna copy all of this, and I'm gonna, or actually, let's copy that. And now we just do git pull upstream develop. Right, and now we're just gonna go on and reinstate this like this, and then we gonna do something that I haven't done in ages, which is run the down migration. So we're just gonna say Rails run down migration. Right. Again, I haven't done this in a while, so rollback. So what goes up must come down. I understand that, of course. So the classics never die, but it's not just enough to say Rails DB. Is it rollback? And I need to run a specific one. I don't want to run the whole thing because there might be others. So I need to run a specific one, which means that this is like old stuff. Come on, give me a fucking break. That's not how you do it. Version, right. So it's called version, and then we need to version what? This version. We need to do it on this version. So we just say version equal this. Let's see if that works. And now he could give me an error that we remove that gem. Let's see what he says. Let's see what he says. Come on, nothing is happening. But it should be happening. I am not very happy about this. Why would this hang? Drop joint events like what? What? Create joint table events selection. Create joint table. Why would he run that? That's not the appropriate thing. Damn it. So Rails DB. Oh fuck. Whew. Rails DB drop. DB create and DB migrate. And now he will complain about this gem being missing, of course. Yeah, I should have done a better code review on that one. He's gonna complain about those that gem being missing, so I need to reinstall the gem probably. Let's see what it's gonna say. I don't know why this is so fucking slow. We do have memory, so oh, perhaps not that much memory. Batteries on 77%. Right, drop database, migrates everything. He should. Right, exactly. Create language migrated. Right. Yeah. It became a full-blown coding session because I made a big mistake. I did make a big mistake, right? Fuck. So let's just add this motherfucker back with vanity connection do. Right, so we basically, because we have that, that's you know, now we're being held hostage by this gem, basically. We're being held hostage by this gem. So I need to just get my fucking... The fuck is this? I mean, come on. We need this gem in order to be built in, but now you're saying on. Now you're just being obnoxious. Now I don't understand what's going on. I don't know if you guys lost me or not, or if I'm online, if I'm not. It's This is fucking ridiculous. To be totally honest, this is ridiculous. I haven't seen any my computer behave like this in a long time. Anyway, we need this gem reinstated. DeLorean is discontinued. Well, there you go. Anyway, we're gonna need to bundle this up. I don't understand what's going on. You did lose me, right? Didn't you, for a while? Okay. Is the stream up or did you lose me? Yeah. Not sure what happened. Not, yeah. Anyway, what a fucking mess, huh? No, it was me. It wasn't you, it was me. But I don't understand why this is taking forever. I mean, yeah. Well. Seem to be back up at this point at least. But I shouldn't. I mean, I'm not running any heavy stuff, you know. And so yeah. I'm gonna kill the Google Meet actually, because if somebody wants to join, they can ask me to join. Yeah, it might be fine on your side, which I'm very grateful for, but for some reason I'm trying to run a bundle install and it seems to be hanging, which is like, I mean, that shouldn't be happening. I actually got myself another laptop, a Linux-based laptop, so I will install that sucker and will make sure that I have a dual setup for my streaming on even at the home office, you know. Yeah, okay, so we did bundle this guy now. All right. So now the vanity gem is back in play. We should be able to just run Rails DB migrate. And for those of you who wonder what the F this guy is doing, he was supposed to hold a community follow-up and Q&A and ended up making a fucking mess of a website that is up and running, which will certainly amuse quite a few people. But yeah, that's the way it is. I did make a fool of myself. What I did was that I merged a PR where the developer actually went in and modified an already existing migration, which is a little bit of a no-go zone. You shouldn't do that. Once things have been deployed to production, the only way you can do the only thing you can actually do is to alter the database through a new migration or run the down migration. So in every migration file you have one up and another one down. So the up migration creates a lot of stuff and the down migration removes them. So that's what we want to do. Could be some fishes eating all those submarine Submarine cables. Submarine cables, yes. Must be. Sometimes the most improbable reason is the reason. So let's go for that. I don't argue with that. Let's see if we can try to run this down migration now. It's good that it didn't push it up to production. Let's see if this guy actually runs the migration or not. We should be on 5 GB internal memory still. Okay, so you see that this peak, the CPU load was way too high. So the CPU heavy processes is the Streamlabs OBS, right? So that's the problem here. Again, I will try to do something about that at some point, but not now. Right. Yes. So, it's like waiting for it's like waiting for laundry to dry or something. Come on, give me a fucking break. Why is this happening? Right. I want to do fun stuff. I don't want to get caught up in some DevOps bullshit just because I make a small mistake and I have a shitty computer. I don't have a shitty computer. I have a good computer. Yet things are not working out for me. And you see, we are up on 70% again. And I don't know what sort of processes we're running here. Yeah, it's almost like that, right? But again, congratulations that you got it approved. That's great. So when are you gonna fly out of the country of yours, the great mother Russia? Come on, give me a break. I don't think I'm gonna stick around for this. Oh, there we go. Create joint. And he rolls back the wrong one again. Okay, so fuck you then. In September, well, that's close. I guess you know every move requires people to do a few things and get your business in order. But I'll be hoping for a good move on your side. Absolutely. All right. Well, this is kind of just making my life miserable. Let's see what else is going on in the community at this point. I was in touch with the good people that are running the project called SHF. That's the project. And this is also, if I'm not totally mistaken, a full stack Rails application. It's a membership system for Swedish dog industry associations. And they've been working away on this one way or another. It says here that they only have 3 members listed, but that's not really the case. So I also recently cleaned up this member directory, but the SHF project is definitely a project worth checking out. They do hold meetings on Thursdays. I just had a chat with them so that they actually post a link to that meeting when they host them. Uh, so other members can follow along. But they are very active. Again, quite a lot of pull requests already being merged. They do have 6 pull requests open. Um, right. I'm not really sure what all of this means because I am not involved in this project. But nonetheless, it's a full stack Rails app running on Rails 5.2. Okay, which is a bit old nowadays because we are in 6.1 something or 0 something. So I would definitely look into modernizing this one if I was involved in this project. But if you're new to Rails, if you want to take a look at how a Rails application is structured, this could be a good start. And they do have a lot of work going on for them, so feel free to check this out. Another project that is a bit interesting, or it was at least interesting for me, was an API I just built the other day around. I was telling you all about it the other day, but it uses a few interesting gems. Well, at least one interesting gem, and that is the gem called Chewy that deals with Elasticsearch. And so this is a search engine API that will power an application that will list or allow the residents of Kensington and Chelsea to search for community projects. It's interesting, in my opinion. Let's see where we are on this guy. All right, we are here. So now I'm just going to do Rails. First of all, I'm going to check out a new branch, git status. Right. Right, so I'm going to do git checkout am, and I'm going to call it vanity fix. And oh shit, I'm mixing stuff. Check out the new branch. Sorry about that. And now I'm going to do Rails generate migration drop vanity tables. Right, and then I'm just going to say this actually with vanity connection. And what are you going to take you're going to take another hour to just generate a fucking migration. Consulates got shut down again due to COVID outbreak. Oh shoots. But it should start again in August, so I can get this. Hopefully. Did you read my message about my current situation about this use effect anomalies? I did briefly. I was a bit stressed the last few days. Let me just see if I can pull it up so I can get things right. Oh fuck. What the fuck is going on? I don't know. I probably need to reboot my computer soon or something. It's good that I'm not planning on a fully featured coding session, because this is like really not gonna fucking work for me. We're on like 94% load. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. It's the Streamlabs stuff. It takes way too much energy. I probably need to downgrade to the regular OBS, or I really don't know what's going on. Right. Thank you. After a half an hour, we managed to even, you see, I can't even switch between two files. This is weird. Uh, you're a bit stuck on the single page application approach. The only thing left is to be completed if you remember from last time. Had an issue where changing Redux state would not trigger re-render through use effect with reducers. So I had to use map state to props. Right. And exploring a component with that connect. So I've got the same problem here, but it's way more funny. Neither reduces or map state to props approaches work. Component just doesn't re-render. Right. I need to see some code, and preferably the code that you had written where you had use state implemented, and I need to see how you did that, because then I can take a look at that and see if I can help you. Sorry about that. So try to find that somehow and send me a link to a GitHub repo or something. That would be the best course of action, actually. So Rails DB migrate and wait for another half an hour, right? Oh shit, and I misspelled also. Migrate. There we go. Yeah, so I would have to look at some code, basically. Thank you for the follow. Karma Trilima? Karma Trilima? Wow, Karma. All right, we're just gonna call you Karma. Thank you for the follow. Of course. Thank you. Nice to have you around us. Tell us who you are and what you do, and if you're a coder, and if you are a coder, what do you code? And if you're not a coder, why not? Right. This is like the most boring stream ever because I'm just running from one fucking problem to another, wanting to shoot myself. If I just had a gun. No, I wouldn't shoot myself. Don't even joke about that, Thomas. Oh God, Rails, Jesus fucking Christ. Rails DB migrate. And another half an hour. Another half an hour. Yeah, that would be great. You can send it here or in Slack or both. If it's open source, both, of course. Try Discord instead of Twitch. Discord instead of Twitch. Like Discord for, I mean Discord for what? Like chatting to people or talking to people or yeah. Right, here we go. Why is that not an error according to the other language council? Which vanity? Undefined method. Drop vanity tables. Right. To host these. I mean, like the follow-ups. You mean like the community follow-ups? We're using Slack at AGILEVENTURES a lot, and so we don't have a Discord channel or Discord instance set up. And I also usually, if my computer is not acting up, okay. Live stream yeah, right. Again, I don't really I I never use Discord for like a streaming platform, so not sure if we're talking about but you mean live meetings, right? Yeah. No, I mean it's irrelevant. No, it's irrelevant. I think we're just kind of misunderstanding each other a little bit. That could be the case. But no, but to answer your question, I unfortunately we don't use I don't use Discord that much. Apart, I'm a member of a few channels, but I don't host my own server, for instance. But we do have Slack, so if you want to uh, know more about what we are doing on um, in Agile Ventures, then we have this website. It's a community of coders. So at this point, we're running a community follow-up and Q&A. But at agileventures.org, you can read more about what Agile Ventures is all about. So I'm just going to pop in a link there. And if you want to become a member, then you will get an invite to our Slack channel. Oh, you are? Okay, that's cool. Well, I'm Thomas. Good stuff. No, so you know that we use Slack. So we can also have. We usually just host those meetings. Apart from streaming them on Twitch, we also have a Google Meet open, so you can follow along live, and that's usually not a problem. Today, unfortunately, it is because my computer decided that it's Friday, and he or she, I don't know, I haven't given my computer a name, wanted to retire or something like this. Right. So we did this, we did that. We should be okay to git status this guy. Right. Git add this, and then git CIAM adds migration to remove vanity tables. Right. Right. They are always so mischievous. What do you mean that? You want to elaborate on that? It's a new word for me. Computers, yes, they are very mischievous. That's a new word. That's the second new word I learned today. The computers are, what they are. Usually a pain in the butt. Let's see, where are we? We are here. Okay, so we just know git push, right? Git push origin vanity fix, right? It's like kids, I have 3 of them, 4 actually. They never do what I want them to do. Right, so just open this guy up and create a new PR. We need a new pull request. Right. Right. Oh, okay, of course. Now I know who you are. I'm sorry, Professor. I totally, somewhere in the back of my head, I was like, I recognize that handle. Uh, of course, you are a member of Slack and Agile Ventures, and a great contributor. Thank you very much. Long time no see. Um, Got to ask, like, I saw you message me the other day. I sorry for not responding. Again, it's been really, really busy week. Thanks. Uh, yeah, you're doing some fantastic work with those students of yours. I'm very, very happy for the contributions that they are making, and I try to follow along in the discussions. Uh, let's see. Right. So this is a fixed PR. This is a fixed PR. You are right, and I'm praying for you. I hope everything will work out. Uh, of course. Um, I just I got my vaccine shot the other day. Uh, I'm waiting for the second shot. I just got my first one, and I got the Moderna, right? Uh, right. So ads the now reinstates the modified migrations add migration to yeah modified original vanity migration, we don't have to write, and then fake PR. uh, bum 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 be prepared, right, of course. Fix PR, da 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 da. Let's see, we're gonna call this guy vanity migration mess. Yeah, we're just gonna fix that one, right? I was thinking, Professor, that Agile Ventures could host like a series of talks or workshops based on the ESAS, Engineering Software as a Service book. I understand that it has come with in the second edition, and this is like one of my, it's like a Bible almost. Um, Sorry for blessing me, but it's really great book, and I would really love to get that content out to some more students. Um, do you have any thoughts if Professor Fox and Peterson would be interested in licensing that book to a charity like ours? Um, um, I know that they collaborate with a lot of academia, but and we don't want to step on anybody's toes here, but I think that that some of the stuff at least in the second chapter, where they talk about agile and software as a service as a delivery model, for instance, and all those great examples that they use, that would be really awesome. And that was one of the things that, among others, I wanted to discuss with you at some point. So um, if you have any thoughts on that or any input, it would be great. You said, well, thank you. I think it is a good idea. We can definitely make something out of that, one way or another. Perhaps with your students, if your students would, I know that I was you invited me once a few years ago to a session with your students. It was the middle of the night for me, but if you ever want to have somebody share some stories from the trenches, from real projects, I'm happy to. I would be honored to be able to talk to your current students at some point and share some insights, for instance. So let's see if we can make some collaboration happen. Let's see what the tests show. we are running everything. Oh, really? Well, then definitely, if that's the case, I would definitely make use of your expertise in many areas. And if you would like to get involved in Agile Ventures from a different perspective than you've had, than you've been over the years, I'd love that. As you know, I recently was offered the seat at the helm, to try to move Agile Ventures forward, and I'm looking for alliances, of course, and trying to build up a team. And if you would take those contacts for me, like an initial discussion with Professor Fox, that would be great. Actually, I would appreciate it. Uh, um, when is your retirement due, if I may ask? Let's see. Usually this test suit takes a while. Um, so um, the automated tests that we are running here, the ones that you see on the screen now, people, is these tests are written in a testing framework called Cucumber. And Cucumber is a very nice framework that has didn't get the attention that it deserves, in my opinion. The beauty of Cucumber is that it's a very simple syntax. We are using a language called Gherkin, which comes with very few keywords, and it allows us to write test cases in very natural language format. And I'm not going to dive too deep into Cucumber now, but there is a nice separation of describing the test case and then executing the test. And the description is for non-technical stakeholders or participants in the project, whereas the execution is more technical, which is a very different approach from any other testing frameworks, where those two things, like describing and telling the test framework what to do, is bundled together in one single interface. Here we can show our clients a test case described in plain English, and then underneath the hood we can see what is going on and how it should be executed, how the assertions are being made, and so on. Right? So we don't have to bore our non-technical stakeholders with those details. So I will be doing a little bit of sessions on Cucumber. There are Cucumber implementations for JavaScript and for Java and for Python and so on. And I'm using the Ruby version here. Clients can easily understand both the requirement and how the test shows that the code meets the requirements. Right. Now you can see in the output, you can definitely see so that it does meet the requirements. But the clients doesn't necessarily have to know how that happens. Only that it actually is the case. So that's the beauty of Cucumber, in my opinion. And so August is the month. All right, so that's pretty soon. So this was your last semester then. That's a big step. I congratulate you on a well achieved final semester then, because I saw some of the projects that your students were doing, and that they seem really, really good. And Raisin, hola, how you doing? Hope you're doing fine. Nice to see you. We need to take the chess game soon, Raisin. I am free this weekend, so I'm gonna have to let you beat me in chess again. Yeah, I see that UT61. Thank you very much. I will check it out, of course. Uh, we're still waiting for the test suit to pass before I can go on and merge it. I was doing fine before I started this stream. Then I noticed that I made a total idiot of myself, and that I merged a pull request without a thorough code review, and now I'm eating. Now I have to deal with the fallout, basically. I have to deal with the fallout. Oh, you're using puzzles on chess? Yeah, on chess.com. That's good. Got to those 2,000 puzzles. That's good. All right. Awesome. I'm not there. I am definitely. I was in such a bad place the other day. I think I lost like 7 or 8 games in a row. Then I actually crushed a guy. Boom. There are rollbacks on PRs, but the thing is that that in this particular case, not the entire PR was bad, but I missed one single thing, and that the developer, he went in and changed migration. And this is a technical thing in Ruby on Rails, that you alter the structure of your database by running scripts that are called migrations. And once migration has been deployed, or the database has been started to be used in production, you can't really go back and change one. If you want to do something, you want to alter the database to remove some stuff, you need to create a new migration. So what I needed to do today is that, you see, the migrations are actually time-stamped, and there was a migration from August 2018 that did a lot of things. And what he did was to remove all of that, right? Just literally remove this code. And that's not possible. What I needed to do is to create a new migration that rolls back these changes, basically. And I think that that will do the trick for me. But I'm not 100% sure, because this, well, I am kind of sure, 95% sure that I did the right thing now. The problem is that this gem set up a few, added some database connectivity, and now I don't have that connectivity available to me anymore. So, well, I could have done this anyway. I think I will be a fix for this. And I know that students are taking these shortcuts because I've been a student, and B, I deal with students, and I know that shortcuts are very appealing. But I usually say that those shortcuts is like pissing your pants. It's warm and nice in the beginning, but then it becomes very cold and sticky and disgusting after a short while. So one would be very, very careful with taking shortcuts, in my opinion. I don't know if that analogy works with you people, but it does for me. Right. So we should be good to actually merge this now. We're green on this PR. Right, we do have an issue with code climate. Why do I have an issue with code climate? Because Rubocop is not set up properly, it was, thank you for it was a good analogy. Thank you very much. So I know that this one is fixed. I usually don't merge my own stuff, but since I'm the only one around, well, Professor, you could merge my PR if you would do me the honor to press the green button. I don't know if you're a member of our Slack organization, but if you are, please follow this link and see if you can. No, you can't do it because you're not an admin anyway. So I'm gonna have to merge it myself, unfortunately. Um, right, no, I'm gonna have to do it. Usually I don't want to merge my own stuff. It's like it's I don't know. It's not a good practice. You shouldn't merge your stuff. But anyways, we are here now. We're gonna go and create a new PR to see if we can push this out to staging. Right, so we should do that. Boom, boom, boom. Pushes fix code from production, from develop to staging. Right, create PR. We won't run CI on this one. I already explained that, this is a fuck up. Gotta do this. And now we're gonna go to our it is incestuous. That's a very good word. That's why I'm trying not to do that. If we broaden your collaboration with Agile Ventures, I will make you an admin so you can review my stuff. I need somebody with some authority to slap me on my hands when I do crazy shit. Let's see. Let's deploy this baby and see what's up. Now that you're moving into retirement, you should definitely visit Europe more and come up to Sweden at some point, Professor, and see what's going on in the Silicon Valley of Northern Europe, or actually Silicon Valley of Europe. There's no other country that has produced as many unicorns than Sweden. We're doing some pretty amazing stuff in this country. I'm very proud. There's a lot of innovation going on. Spotify, Klarna, of course, and then what's this? Not Slack, but the other one. Yeah, well, there are some pretty amazing companies here. Definitely, you should. And mi casa su casa, Professor, of course. If you ever hit the western part of Sweden, in Gothenburg, then you should definitely visit and stay with us. It seems like we're doing better. It seems like we are doing better. Let's have a look at the build log. And how's the weather over there, by the way? Yeah. What's up with this global warming stuff in the US? I mean, it's not cool. Your Texas people were freezing to death in the winter, and now you guys are in the worst heat ever. That sounds awful. Not cool at all. I hope you are not affected by this, or how's the weather in at your location? Yay! We seem to be going okay on the deployment. And if this guy works, then I will just run the migration, make sure that the staging server is up and running. It's a little too big, 140 megabytes. It's not cool. This is not cool. All right, so this one worked. Let's have a look at the resources. And so we have global weirding. Right. I bet. No, I don't know what it is, to be honest. Who am I to say? Let's see. This is working. This is the staging thing. Let's just have a let's just do clear, and I need to run the migration on the server. So let's see, vanity fixed, right? So let's just do git remote dash v, and I have this right. So we can do Heroku run rails db migrate remote staging. I feel for the people living nearer to the equator. They've been suffering for about half. Well, yeah. Um, and again, I don't know if it's the global warming or if it's just a normal course of action. But it's, I mean, in Canada, for God's sake, they're having weird weather. And again, it's the weird weather that is the worrying part, in my opinion. I mean, we almost didn't get any winters for the last 2 years, and the summers are very weird for us, way hotter than they used to be. Not as hot as the things that you guys are experiencing over in the U.S., but yeah, I mean, even for laymen like me, it's kind of overwhelming that something bad is happening, and I'm very glad for like the electric cars and all of the other stuff. But then again, there's so much shit going on in the industry, you know, the heavy industry, for instance. We need to get a grip on ourselves, I think. Uh, mm, yeah, that's what John the Apostle is teaching us in the last book, in the book of Revelation, right? We'll see. We'll see what happens. Uh, let's click around on this baby and see if we get any weird stuff. So first of all, what I want to see is, I don't know if this is set up for the staging server, but I would love to see if I can sign up with Google. Let's see. Right, and I will sign up with my Craft Academy address. Invalid credentials. Invalid credentials. Okay, we don't know what that is. Let's see if we can use the AGILEVENTURES.org if we get the same thing. Still in. So the invalid credentials thing could mean a lot of things. So we're gonna do Heroku logs dash t remote staging. Right. And what does this mean? So we're doing G plus callback invalid unauthorized authentication failure. Really? Invalid client. Okay, so this is an error with our permissions. So let's have a look at the permissions. Well, not the permissions, but the environmental variables. Let's see. GitHub key, Google Project API key. What? Why are you doing this to me? Right. Right. Right, this could be anything. I'm not gonna dive into this at this point. But what I will do, I'm gonna stop the log. And reading logs, people, is what? It's a virtue. No, I mean, you should be able to read logs as a developer, or because, you know, as a developer nowadays, you need to do a lot of DevOps, and if you do DevOps, you have to read logs. There are, of course, many tools that you can use for that, but I do use I do a lot of manual stuff. And guys, just so you know, there is a massive delay on Twitch. Like, I'm talking 20, 30 seconds at least That's so fucked up. Uh, so this interactivity of the chat doesn't really work. You got your first interaction with Docker. Well, that you broke a cherry there. Cool. Good for you. Good for you. Um, Perhaps you can teach me Docker. I mean, I did. I've done a bits and pieces here. Uh, right. Let's just make this happen in terms of creating a new PR from staging. No, 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 no. From staging to production. So we go staging here, and we go production here. Production. Not production, Thomas. It's called master. What's wrong with you? There you go. Right. And now we have these things, update seeds. Then we have this this PR that I merged, and everything was fine with this PR apart from one commit basically. But and again, I should have spotted it. I didn't. Right. So we create this guy, and we're just gonna say pushes staging to production. To production pushes. There we go. Right. That's it. That's it. That's it. And again, eat your own dog food, as this. No, that's not appropriate thing to say here. Let's go with this guy. So nowadays, while we wait for the deployment, I'm just going to tell you that Ruby on Rails is a fantastic framework, in my opinion. It's a great framework to build professional services with, and it's also a great framework to use as your first full stack framework or what have you, right? But if you're new to programming and you want to build applications, then the Ruby on Rails framework is great. And the Website 1 project, the one that I'm dealing with now, is a full stack web application built using Ruby on Rails. I recently upgraded this app to Rails 6, which is the latest release. Rails is a very mature framework nowadays. It's been around for like 9 years, I think, 8-9 years. I don't think they celebrated 10 years yet, but nowadays I don't build full stack applications anymore using Ruby on Rails. I build APIs, and then I build like a React client to consume those APIs. And so I still am a very great fan of the RESTful architecture. I think it's the easiest to understand way of consuming data or interacting with resources on in web-based applications. So I build APIs using Ruby on Rails. I'm very productive in that. I can spin something up in matters of days or even hours sometimes. It depends, of course, on the complexity. And then I use React.js to consume those services. And that works for me, folks. Now, I reference this book, Engineering Software as a Service. That is in addition to that is a little bit of my my guidance in everything I do in terms of not only the software as a service delivery model, but the entire approach to building applications, what to do, when to do it, why to do it. A lot of focus on agile methodologies and stuff, right? The only downside with that book is that they still deal with full stack apps, in my opinion, that could be a bit confusing for a lot of new developers that will anyway inevitably end up in projects that are working with more distributed um, systems where you separate the backend stuff like the API things and the client side. But that would be the only downsides with that. But other than that, I would say I highly recommend this book. Um, it's called Isa's book something. No, engineer. So, well, it's Armando Fox. Right. So this is one of the authors, and this is the book itself. 22. There's a new edition that came out this year. I don't know if this is the one. Let's see. Engineering long-lasting software, an agile approach using SaaS and cloud computing. This is the beta edition. That's not the one, right? There must be a beta. Right, engineering software as a service, right. But is this another book? This is not the... So what I'm looking at now, engineering long-lasting software. Well, what is that? That's the old book. Okay. Okay. So we need to search for this one. Right. This is the new one. Right. That's the one from 2012. Okay. All right. This is the new one. Right. Yes. And it came out this year. Exactly. I ordered this to my company the other day, so I'm waiting for delivery. This is something that, if there's... So I don't, to be honest, I don't buy many books nowadays in about software development. I rely on other sources. But if you ever want to buy one book and you're into web development or building web applications, this is the one. I definitely recommend this one. This is definitely a great source for knowledge. So go on and buy that one. What I do, I buy old books. I can't show you this now, but I have a collection of old, like Bibles, books from 17th and 18th century. That's what I do. But I don't buy programming books because they get so outdated. This one doesn't. This one holds holds many good things. So regarding Codio, I actually do have an account nowadays. I got approved on Codio even though I'm not in academia anymore. So the online book is included. Yeah, I have the PDF of the book also. But I want the stuff. It's I want it on my side table, so I can find inspiration sometimes. Right, where are we on the deployment? We are deployed. Good stuff. Let's run the migration. So I already have that here, but we're just going to change the remote from staging to production, and we should be ready to go. I will do that. I will take a look at that. I know that they have a lot of coding examples on Codio. And I was also, so I wanted to explore the possibility to run something based on that book with Agile Ventures, and then see if we can use Codio for that, because I do understand that there's a lot of material kind of included, and see if we can hammer something out so we can make this content available to our members. That would be really great. Referring back to what we discussed a while back today, this would be the best course of action, I think. Codio, the book, and us from the community running some workshops with our students. Yeah, let's do that. Absolutely. Uh, let's do that. Let's see if we can click around on the. So this was the staging server. Let's now just do agileventures.org. See if everything crashes or not. Should be good. Now, one thing that was annoying is that quite a few people were having issues with signing up. Let's see if I can sign up with this account. Right. No, but this one is already. So it's Thomas Ochman. Right. So let's just see if we can do clear, and then we do Heroku run Rails console remote production. I would love to see that, Professor. Absolutely. We need to hook up soon. Whenever you have the time, or we can synchronize our. I know that you are like 8 hours behind me, or yeah, it's 8 p.m. at my place now, so I think we're some 6-7 hours difference, and sometimes it's hard to find a good time to meet. Let's see if we can spin this baby up, and so we're just gonna create a variable called Thomas user find by, and then we're just gonna say email Thomas at craftacademy.se. Right, so let's find this guy. Right, and so I know that it's 2 p.m. All right, so you are 8 hours. No. What am I talking about? Yeah, 6. Yeah, 6 hours. 6 hours behind me. Right. So we say Thomas, and then we're gonna say methods. Grep delete. Now I need to see. We are using a gem that doesn't really delete, but I do have a really delete function. So that's what we're gonna do. Thomas really delete, and now Thomas reload should not work. Couldn't find the record. We're gone. Okay. So now that I try to reload this one, I should be logged out. And now I should do. So now when I try to log in with Google, this should be a brand new account. So let's see if that actually works or not. Right. And now I got a 500 error. Now I got a 500. And this is really, really annoying. And so let's reload. And let's do this again. And let's do this again. And if we get this. Right, we get a 500 again. Right, and I think that I know what the problem is. Right, so we had a user ID, and that user ID was 12,520, right? So every user in this system has multiple authentication methods. So I think that there is a flaw in the model, in the data model here, because when I destroy a user, every authentication related to that user should also be destroyed, purged from the database. But I don't think that's happening, right? So we're going to say auth equals authentication find by user ID, and then we're just going to say this. because even if my user is gone, the authentication might still be around. Because I misspelled authentication, because I don't know what's wrong with me. There we go. And it did find it, you see? And so now, if we do auth user, we get an error. Nil. And this is the problem. This needs to be dependent. This destroy method, when I destroy a user, should destroy this authentication. It doesn't. And that's where we run into some issues. So we're just going to do destroy. Can I do this? Should I do this? Yeah, so auth reload should give me an error now. Yes. Okay. And we can go back here. Hey, next friend, Cyrus, how you doing? Nice to see you. Dependent destroy, definitely. Professor, definitely. And it isn't, and that's a flaw. Cyrus, I need you desperately. I need to fix some. I have some major issues with my Apple development account certificates and signing. I switched computers and I made a. I don't know if it's my middle name making a mess, you know, Thomas make a mess Ochman, but I made a mess of my certificates. So you're the closest of an expert on Apple stuff that I know. So I need you. Please say that you have time sometime this weekend. That would be really awesome. Let's see if we can get this one to work. Yes, yes. Now it worked. That's awesome. Thank you. That's like music in my ears on the Friday night. We won't try to do it today though, because it's a, you know, right. So now it worked, but I've seen some, yeah, well, 3-4 minutes, and then 5 hours later we're gonna sit. But yeah, sure. I mean, optimism is the last thing that should abandon us. Hope and everything, but should take 3 to 4 minutes is like the famous words of a developer. But I trust you, brother. I trust you. So we've had users telling us that this OAuth with Google didn't work, and it did work for me now. So that's a bit of a problem. But here we can see that authentication dot last. Let's just store it in. Right. So we have this, and then we just say a.user, and that should list me, Thomas at Craft Academy, and now it's good. And again, the problem here is that in this particular model, where's the user? There's the user. We do not have has many. Well, looky, it does say dependent destroy. That's weird, because it didn't destroy that. I think that the act as paranoid gem fucks this one up. Yes, you need to be an eternal optimist to get into this field. Definitely, that's a word of wisdom. I don't know how many times I question myself. Yeah. So so you see what we have. We have an extension. Oh fuck! We have an extension installed that is called act as paranoid or paranoia. Let's see, act as paranoid. Right. So what act as paranoid does is when you want to destroy a resource, it doesn't really destroys it, but rather marks it as destroyed. So I don't know if you saw that, but what I did run on my instance on my user was to call really destroy, and that is act as paranoid method that makes sure that it is actually purged. And so perhaps, only perhaps, I'm not sure about this, is that the really destroy method doesn't kick in the dependent destroy function. It's I'm not 100% sure about that. So, Rose, this is it's a good gem in terms of, for instance, GDPR compliances or something. Like sometimes you don't want to purge any data from your database for legal purposes, for instance, or let's say that a simpler use case might be that users asks you to remove their account and then they change their mind. So you could or you have some legal requirements to keep their data around for like 6 months or 6 years or what have you, right? So you can mark them deleted, but then you can reinstate that if they change their mind or something. We were exploring this a few years back. I see that Matt Lindsay changed this 5 years ago. I think the first time we did something with paranoia was 6 or 7 years ago, and it's not a bad thing. I recently showed this to a few of my students when they were building a project, and it actually made sense to them to use that. So let's see if I can pull this up. Act as paranoid. Access, yes. Right, act as paranoid, but I don't know if this is the one we're using actually. Might be. No, actually we're using Right, we're using paranoia. So why the fuck? Right. Right, no wonder this is effed up, because this is the paranoia is, it's a re-implementation of Act as Paranoid for Rails 345 using much less. Okay, so this is the version we're using. Okay, so it's just a rewrite of the same thing. So I'm going to send a link in case you want to check this out. Any Ruby on Rails people. Anyway, folks, the website one project would need your help, of course. I'm just going to write up a small little ticket here. Delete with paranoia. The really delete method does not delete really delete method the really delete on method on a user does not delete authentications. Need to investigate. That's enough. That's enough. Right. Well, perhaps not that much. Edit. I'm just gonna add a few. So this one takes markdown, so it's better like this. All right. So this short little community follow-up and Q&A turned to be a meeting of old friends. I'm very happy to meet all of you tonight. It was supposed to be a half an hour event. It turned into 1 hour and 40 minutes. So my wife would probably love to join her for some TV and snacks at the couch. So I will do that, and I will thank you all for participating in tonight's session. And if you want to know more about the Website One project, just check it out on GitHub. Take a look at the project's projects tracker, or the issue tracker, and have a fantastic Friday afternoon, Friday night, Friday evening, Friday whatever, and have a great weekend. I will be back online at 6 o'clock UTC, which is 8 o'clock my time, tomorrow morning. And Professor, thank you very much for sticking around. Raisin, Cyrus, and everybody else, UT61.